Valorant. As unfortunate as it is for my mental health and my wallet, it's the only game I cared to play this Christmas break. I decided to formally retire from my origins as a one-trick Omen main, and I picked up a new Sentinel. Chamber was that new Sentinel. And the reason why you clicked on this video. Starting off Chamber's basic abilities, his Macaroons. TM. Fuck you, Greg. I'm stealing your brand and your jokes because I'm unoriginal. Macaroons are little devices that have a radius of detection, and when an enemy is detected, it will lock on to said enemy and fire a slowing field at the enemy from where they were detected. This will give Chamber a notification at the top of his screen that the trap has been used. Macaroons are in great use on the flank watch on attack, and also great to put on the main of sight that you're playing, slowing down the enemy team and possibly, if played off of, some quick frags. An additional bonus is that your Macaroons are set and forget, meaning that you only need to place them and then they sit there quietly waiting for some enemy to walk by after they rotated from all their dying friends.
Time slows down when it can get no worse.
Next is your Crossant, TM. The Headhunter is a French revolutionized version of the Sheriff, holding only 8 bullets in total capacity, but giving devastating headshots to the enemy team. You buy bullets for 100 credits each. A recommendation I have is that you don't buy over 4 bullets unless you're currently swimming in unused cash. After the pistol round, the Crossant becomes just a panic pocket sheriff, as it's outclassed by the weapons you'll get as the half progresses. Thirdly, Chamber's Canneles, TM. This Gallic guy can teleport short distances between 2 Canneles. By placing one of the Canneles, you get a radius of how far you can place the other. When both are placed to the default tap of E, Chamber will teleport to the other Cannele. Unlike Yoru, who has a small amount of time before teleporting, Chamber's teleports are instantaneous, giving you the advantage when used aggressively. But he has to be within the radius of the Cannele to do so. The teleporters can get you out of sticky situations, or simply reposition you instantly. I like to set them up on opposite sides of sight, try to get a pick, teleport to the other, and peek again, bamboozling the other team. Mention, they will catch on sooner or later, so try to have multiple arrangements to always catch them off guard of where you'll be next. But they, unfortunately, lose their purpose the second you get the call to rotate, making the Canneles a more defensive and situational gadget.
I can feel it running out on me. I don't want the...
Last of Big Guy's arsenal is the BFG. No, not that one. This one. The Baguette fucking gun. Trademarked. The BFG is an op, but it has its social skills buffed, having the Macaroon's ability to create a slow field after getting a pick, which can cause a domino effect when the other team decides to hold popular angles. It takes 7 points to earn, and its ultimate status means that it's free. Twice a side you can use this. Twice a side. You know I'm gonna go Robespierre up in this motherfucker with that kind of power.
Okay, everything's okay. Oh! No way.
Now that we have an understanding of this Conad's abilities, what makes Chamber so good? Mamma mia! Pizzeria, why am I Mario? This is French, what the fuck? Chamber's only real competition for Sentinel class is Killjoy, due to the other Sentinels holding other jobs, like for instance, Sage is more of a healing, push denier, and Cypher, well, Cypher's just cameras. And one of the biggest flaws of Killjoy is having to tear down your setup if the other team decides to rotate. Both her turret and alarm bot, that I named Jeff for no discernible reason, have a radius until they no longer function, keeping Killjoy tied to her setup, but Chambers can just be forgotten about. So if the enemy team decides to go to the site you had your setups on, you can gain an advantage by already having it placed and ready to go. Also, side note, this motherfucker is balling right now in this suit. Chamber can also act as a pseudo entry frag if need be, because we all know that your random insta-lock duelist won't ever do their jobs correctly. By using his Headhunter and BFG, you can clear a path for his team like any other initiator or entry fragger. That said, the BFG is an extreme standout in his arsenal, making him play extremely well with his teleports. Using Chamber calls for you to use your entire kit in a round, and is very good pick for Sentinel mains or any support player in general, but he doesn't come without a series of drawbacks.
Now there's only one thing I can do, fighting till the end like I promised to.
The curse of being a Sentinel main is that your setups go unnoticed. Why? Because the other team decides to go A 6 times in a row, and then the one time you don't go B, they go down barreling B main like headless chickens. Chamber's teleporters, like mentioned earlier, become useless on a retake. You don't have time to set them up properly to get the effective use to flank the enemy, rendering them effectively useless. But also that just means that there is a situational item in your arsenal of apparently French pastries. Chamber also can't hold down Spike from afar like Killjoy, as her traps are lethal and can be set on Spike to stop a defuse from afar, whilst Chamber, like all other agents, have to be near a line of sight to apprehend the diffuser with a show of extremely lethal force.
Wishing there was something left to lose. This could be the day I die for you.
Overall, Chamber is the perfect agent for people who want to play support, but also like playing duelists, being a mix of the two with his focus on slaughtering the enemy team. To the newly reformed Chamber main I am, due to being physically unable to play Omen anymore, without the high possibility of making a toaster a fun and cool new bath bomb. I really recommend Chamber to anyone willing to experiment with different setups and tactics, because that's really what playing a Sentinel is about, learning and building your ever-encroaching playbook to completely dominate the other team. So stop being a Killjoy fan and become a Chamber enjoyer today. Playing Chamber, as I said earlier, is about experimentation and failure. You have to learn what works and what doesn't, and no guide on YouTube will be able to show you that. Have fun playing Chamber, and happy hunting, my favorite baguette buddies.
You so fucking precious when you smile. Yeah. Hit it from the back end.
Hey, stop!
Time slows down when it can get no worse. I can feel it running out on me. I don't want these to be my last words. All forgotten, 'cause that's all